Oh, there you are. Can you hear me?
I hadn't okayed the recording thing, so it wouldn't let me change any settings. But
Ah,
once I did that, it did.
okay, that's good to know that that works that way. Okay, it's like it's after 5 o'clock. So,
Mhm. Well, you don't have to do this just for me.
oh, I'm happy to do it. And we can be more specific if that's helpful. Um, yeah, I think we should get started. Um, okay, yeah, I'm in. Can you hear my dulcimer?
I can, yes.
Okay, great. Perfect. Because sometimes I forget to turn that special setting on. All right. So let's tune up, shall we? Um, it's my bass string, one farthest away. Got that? And then A, the middle string, and then D, the melody. Got it? Good. Okay. So, normally we start right off with our Liza Jane. Is that good for you to start with? Okay, cool. And
I'm keeping myself muted because I don't play very well, but I'll nod and
it's okay. Um, and do you like the music on the screen? Is that helpful for you? Okay. So let me go ahead and get that share screen going and start. And okay. All right, I'm gonna get, it's always a trouble when they have this little thing here. Okay, let's go here and then I can get rid of that and I can get into my PIA score. Yay! All right, I'm gonna back up. Eliza Jade. All right, so hopefully you're seeing the music. Okay, so I'm gonna change the camera view so you can see my dulcimer. Oops, yep, that works. Just turn it off entirely. There you go. Okay. All right, so um, I'll count us in. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. Does that feel good to you? Okay, perfect. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Oh, sorry. Let me start that from the third line. We're gonna play from the third line. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Back to the beginning. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. one more time. 4. Woohoo! How'd that go? You want to try a little faster? No? Okay. Is there any part you're having any trouble with?
Yeah, can you hear me? The one part that I'm having trouble with is let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The seventh measure, the 1, 2, 2, the 1, 2, 2, and the 1, 2, 1.
Ah,
I don't have a good way to finger that real quickly.
right. Okay. So, in this song, what I would recommend, instead of playing the 1, 2, 2, which the only way I know how to do that is with my middle finger on the bass and then my thumb kind of covering both of the 2s. But instead of doing that, almost everyone plays this song as a 1, 0, 2. So it looks more like, if you can see my fingers, like that. Does that make sense? Just leave that open. And the sound is almost identical. Here's the 1, 2, 2. And this is the 1, 0, 2. It's almost imperceptibly different.
Yeah, I can see what you mean.
And so that's kind of a trick to do with any tab that you're struggling with, particularly in these chords. Figure out if there's a slightly different variation of the chord that sounds equally the same. Now, you can't do a 0, 1, 2, because that's a B minor chord. Just that one change from this chord to this. So instead of a 1 on the bass, you're doing a 1 on the middle. That's a totally different chord, and a 2 on the. So a 1 on the bass. Excuse me, a 1 on the middle, open bass, and a 2 on the melody is a totally different chord. That's a B minor chord. And that's, I don't know if that sounds very minor-ish. But a 1 on the bass and an open middle and a 2 on the melody string is an A chord, right? So, as I say, when you're struggling with fingering, sometimes it's helpful to find a slightly different way of fingering it, but be mindful of not changing the chord, right? Because sometimes just a minor shift in fingering will change the chord entirely. Cool, so let's play it once through at least with this different fingering. So in that section, it's let's just play through the second line. I'll count us in to 4, and in the measure before the last measure, just do a 1 on the bass, open on the middle, and 2 on the melody. Okay? So let's try that again. Let's start that. Just play the second line. So we're going to start on the 2 on the second line. 1, 2, 3, 4. How did that feel? So you basically drop those
Good.
twos out of the middle completely.
Right, that's much better, much easier. Thanks.
No worries. Um, and totally okay to do that because it's the same chord and it sounds almost the same. Hey, I'm gonna just really quickly check my email just in case somebody is saying something like they can't get in for some reason. Whoop. Please resend invite. It seems to be lost. Okay. Yay. All right.
Good. Good to check.
Let me search my sent folder and I'm just trying to find it quickly. Hello. Okay, there it is. And I'm gonna reply all, maybe? Hopefully. Oh, nope, that's not gonna work. I gotta do this in again. Zoom. Alright, I'm sorry. I need to do it on my computer to just be faster so
Take your
that
time.
you're
I'll
not
just practice.
sitting there. Okay, sent. Zoom. Okay, forward to me, BCC, the group. Okay. Oh, come on. Why? Trash that.
You want me to
Whatever.
send you want me to send you the email that I have with the link in it?
No, I got it. It's just it was trying to send to like everyone 3 different version copies of it. So I'm trying to be very careful about not flooding people's email. Oh, come on. There you go. And then I just want to say resending link and send. Okay. Hopefully that will help. And you should have also just gotten another copy of it, I hope.
Yeah.
All right. So shall we move on to Cripple Creek? No, I mean, right now this is open to you and whatever you want to do. So if you would like to do something else.
I was just checking to see if I had gotten your email. It hasn't come through yet, but it's just doing the checking email thing. But yeah, Cripple Creek is
Okay. So again, this is 4/4 time. Count to 4 and we'll come in. All right, I'm trying to make sure my camera is all in view and everything. There we go for this part. All right. 1, 2, oh, a little slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. That goes back to the beginning. Second part again. Sorry. Back to the beginning. starting back at the beginning. Sorry about that. It's really hard to talk and play at the same time. Can you tell? All right, I'm gonna count us in. We'll play it through twice. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. That repeats. B section. To the beginning. Ah! I can't get the repeat thing. Let's play the second part. So start at the third line and we'll play it, go back to the beginning. Okay, we'll play the second part twice and then go back to the beginning. And it's all my fault. All right, we're counting in, starting at the third line.
It's only your fault because you can't hear me.
All right, I'll count in. We'll play the second part twice, and then we'll go back to the beginning. And I'll try to keep silent so I don't mess myself up. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that feeling okay?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody trying to get in?
I'm not seeing anyone so far, so we'll keep going and see if they join us. And
I
just,
did get your email, so it went out okay.
it did go out okay? All right, let's just make sure no one's responded. Nope. All right. It's fine with me. All right, so moving on. Do you want to move on to Black Mountain Rag?
Sure.
Okay. So remember, this has 3 sections. The first line repeats, the second line repeats, and then the last 3 lines is the third section, and there's an internal repeat in there. So, all right. Again, 4/4 time. So I'll count to 4, and then we'll come in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Third section. Sorry. We'll start from the beginning again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, did I miss the repeat on the second line?
Yeah, but that was okay. I figured it out.
Good. Sorry. Um, yeah, so just that's, I've said it before. It's an example of like when my mind wanders, I make mistakes. And it just happens to everyone. And I I don't know I don't know anything to tell you other than you have to be like so super focused on what's going on. All right, so I'm gonna get to the fun part. I'm gonna let me put that there for now, and I'm just gonna go over here to the Zoom thing and stop the share for a minute and change my camera angle. All right, so strumming and rhythm. Yeah. I used to have horrible rhythm, and I still do to an extent. I really am not, rhythm is not my strong thing. So much so that I tend to lean, my favorite songs are songs that I can play that, that I don't have to keep rhythm with, right? Like Amazing Grace, or, a couple of other slow tunes where I can just play them as I feel like playing them without keeping to a strict rhythm. So I'm just saying that like out front, right out the front. One of the things that has helped me get better at playing rhythm is playing air dulcimer. I know this sounds stupid, but it really, like the old-fashioned air guitar, when you were doing like this, right? You can actually play air dulcimer when you don't have your dulcimer in front of you and you're just listening to music, like, if you're going for a car ride or, whatever, and the radio's on, you can strum with your strumming hand to whatever beat is going on with the music, and you can pretend to move your fingers just like you would on your dulcimer in time to the beat, because that's really what you have to do to train your body to recognize the rhythm and move on the beat, right? So, there's two words that I keep coming up with: beat and rhythm. So I'm going to just switch my video to that one. So, I'm going to try and get that so you can see it. So when I'm playing, I don't know if you can see, my foot is like actually banging against the brace of the chair. Okay, that's the beat that I'm playing to, right? So when I count in, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can see my foot is mimicking. Hello. My foot is mimicking that beat, so that constant beat is what I'm referring to as the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Some people count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's the beat, right? And in the context of this conversation, so just bear in mind that beat and rhythm and tempo and timing and all of that stuff has different contexts in different conversations. So one of the things that's really helped me when I play dulcimer is to get this foot moving to the beat, right? And just force myself to do that. And part of the way I've learned to do that is by listening to rock, to pop, to all kinds of different music that has a strong beat, and get my foot moving. So whenever I'm listening to music, whether I'm playing a dulcimer or listening to dulcimer music or any other dulcimer music, I've started moving this foot to the beat. Okay, and so that has really helped me. Now, rhythm is something different. Rhythm is the way the notes, the timing of the notes over time to spaces. So for example, I can count, I'm going to get my foot moving, 1, 2, and I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to add in a rhythm. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So I'm clapping a rhythm with my hands, and that's different than the beat with my foot hitting the thing, right? So, for example, I'm going to clap a pretty basic song, and hopefully you'll recognize it, all right? So take a moment and think, all right? I'm just going to clap the song. No notes up and down, no singing, just clapping the rhythm of the song, all right? 1, 2, 3. Okay, what song was that?
It was Happy Birthday.
Yes, exactly. So the rhythm of the notes is far more important. I'm going to change my video camera back so you can actually see my face. Hello, there we go. So the reality is the rhythm of the notes, and in this case, that means timing in my mind. I'm equating the word rhythm to timing. the timing and rhythm of the notes is far more important than the actual note value of, is it an A or a C or a D, right? So you can actually play Happy Birthday on your dulcimer without playing any of the actual notes, and you'll still recognize it, right? So I'm not even going to change my dulcimer, my camera view, but so, right? So you can hear the beginning of that song, and it's like totally recognizable to you. I could play totally wrong notes in that song and you'd still recognize it as Happy Birthday, as long as the timing of the notes was correct. Okay? So when performers, when they're performing, it sounds seamless and it sounds like they make no mistakes. The reality is they're making mistakes all over the place with what notes they're playing. It's the time, but they're keeping the time and the rhythm correct, right? And so you just blow past what note it is, and you don't even recognize it as a mistake when you're listening to it. Your brain just doesn't even recognize it. So that's why it's so important to practice rhythm, and to rhythm and timing, in my mind, are going together. Again, different contexts have different meanings of these words. And there's a couple of tools that you can use to practice rhythm. Everybody, of course, mentions a metronome. I hate metronomes. And pretty much everybody I know hates a metronome, okay? And I don't recommend that you use a metronome all the time. I recommend you use a metronome only sometimes, only if you feel like you don't have the timing of the notes correctly. So I'm going to turn this metronome on, and I'm actually going to do some demonstrating of this with Abide With Me. Okay, start broadcast. Okay, good, yay. So hopefully you're going to see a screen share here soon. Hello, Abide With Me. There we go. Oh, and you don't need to see that picture of me. Okay, so I'm going to start this metronome. So you hear that? It's already set to three-quarter time, and it's a really slow tempo. And dropped it on the floor. And if you listen, there's a different tone when you're at the beginning of the measure. All right, so let's listen to that again. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So can you hear that different sound? Yeah, okay. That's where a metronome can really be helpful, right? Is when you're trying to get the timing of a measure and the notes within the measure. The metronome, you can have it, you can either buy one that's like this, or you can, download one for your phone, and you can set it so that the first beat of the measure is has a different sound, and that helps concentrate you in terms of, oh, I'm at the next measure, and it keeps you in time with the music. Does that make sense? Okay. Metronomes teach you to play in perfect timing. That's their goal, because it's a perfect time thing. The problem is when you're actually performing, you never want to play a song with perfect timing because it's just too damn boring. Okay? So this helps initially to get you oriented to how the timing of the notes should be in a measure, but you don't want your, once you've got how the song goes, you don't want to rely on this to keep your time because you're never going to play perfect timing. Does that make sense? All right. The other place where a metronome can help is if you're trying to train your brain to play with others, right? Because you have to listen to the metronome as well as play. So that's another place where the metronome can help. There are a couple of other better ways, and I added them in the agenda. There's backing tracks, and that's really helpful in helping you to move with the beat, right? So let me see if I can get one of those backing tracks up. Woohoo! Good luck, Lynna. Let's go there. Let's go here. Woohoo! This is the agenda. I'm just trying to get it up on my little device here. Hopefully it'll show up here too. Yay. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yay, we don't need that part. Okay. So this first backing track, hello. Can we not be in edit mode? Can we just be in look at mode? Thank you. How come I can't get this up? As we're keeping in edit mode. All right. Well, there we go. Finally. Oh, this is going to be an ad.
$5. That's enough to make a difference in this election.
Okay. Are you hearing the YouTube video? Yes or no? Because okay, cool. So what these backing tracks are very helpful for practicing rhythm and moving with the beat, okay? Moving your fretting hand and keeping rhythm with your strumming hand. So in this case, it's a very simple song, and you're going to hear this 2, 3, 4. So you see what I'm saying? There's no melody going on. It's just the backing track. And it does take a little bit of practice to get used to it, but it's incredibly helpful. And you can just, all you want to do is at the beginning, I'm gonna just change that to that, and I can, you just palm, yay. You can just palm your dulcimer and just strum like this, okay? And eventually you'll be moving with that rhythm, and you'll be moving on the beat, okay? And so that's one good thing to practice. The other good thing to practice is your strumming hand, woohoo, where are we in the video? Okay, you want to be moving your strumming hand back and forth, okay? And I'm moving at the elbow, not the wrist, okay? you want to move, your strumming hand should move at the elbow, not the wrist. All right? And so a good practice to be in is a little something, you know, you want to try and do this, you know, every time you sit down at your dulcimer to practice, it's a good idea to do this, where you go really slowly at first. And so I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. Just strum out. Okay? And then do that to like an 8 beat. And then the next 8 beat, strum out and back in again. Okay, so start from the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so that just helps you get back and forth, going back and forth. And then once you've got that down, you can go it a little faster and go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. See what I'm saying? And if you just practice that, you know, a couple of minutes every day, you'll get this hand, your strumming hand, moving in rhythm. And again, the other way to practice that is whenever you hear music, wherever you are. If you're in an elevator, if you're waiting at the dentist, if you're anywhere, just play without your dulcimer, play air, there's my hands, air dulcimer to whatever music you're listening to, okay? Because what you have to do is practice getting this hand moving in a rhythmic way to the beat that you're hearing. Does that make sense? Okay. Cool. All right. I'm going to show you a couple of other things with your strumming hands that aren't rhythmic. Okay, we're going to move on from there and talk more about different techniques you can do with your strum hand. Let me get my camera angled more at my strum. Okay. So one of the things to keep in mind is if you sing with your dulcimer, essentially you're going to just be playing chords, and you just get kind of a rhythm of strumming with your chords. Okay. That's not what I do. I'm not a singer. My dulcimer plays the melody, and so everything I do accentuates the melody. So obviously for Abide With Me, one way to play this, if you want to play with me, that's great. I'm just going to count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's playing it pretty straight and nothing fancy. Okay, does it make sense? This song has 3, 4 verses. So, you know, it can get, if you played it that way for all 4 verses in a performance, people would kind of like nod off, right? It's not that great. So instead of strumming, what you can do is pick through this. And in this case, though the pick notes aren't shown on the music tab because it's up to you to fill in those pick notes. So let me play the first 2 lines like that. See, kind of a different sound, right? And a little, in my opinion, a slightly more interesting sound. Okay?
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, it's pretty.
Thank you. So that's what's called flat picking. I don't know why it's called flat picking, but so just like with strumming where you want to get used to going back and forth, with flat picking you want to get used to going with your pick both directions. Okay, so you're gonna, does that make sense? You can pick the strings in both directions. And essentially the way you figure out, or I should say the way I figure out how to pick stuff is in the note duration. Remembering that the melody has to rule the tune. So for the quarter notes, I can get the melody, the middle, the bass, and the middle as part of the picked structure. But then I'm right back to the quarter note, and for a quarter note I can only get the melody and the middle. So the first measure is okay. So that's how you figure out where you can pick things, is based on the note duration. Okay. An extension of flat picking, or I should say almost the same thing as flat picking, is just using your fingers to pick. And it has a softer sound, right? Right? That's, to me, sounds softer. You can use just your fingernails, and believe you me, I probably spend way more on my fingernails than most people do. My fretting hand are like chopped short, and my strumming hand I try to keep a little bit of a nail so I can do this. Right? Other people who don't have or fingernails or whatever use finger picks, these things. I'm just gonna change my, I think it would be easier, well, let's see if I can do this on the camera. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. It's tempted to have the curved part out like your fingernail is. I've never had that work for me. Instead, I put mine on with the curved part pointing away. And, you know, honestly, you play with these and see what works for you. I don't necessarily play with these at all because I don't like the sound. Ooh, I can't do my, there we go. Let's turn this back to live stream, that camera. All right, so if you can see those finger picks and how they're on my fingers, woo, right? So, and then if I play this song with those on, it's a different sound, but to me it's almost the same as flat picking. So why am I bothering with these that are just gonna fall off? Right? So yeah, you can try these if you don't have good fingernails and you want to try finger picking. Perfectly good. A lot of people use them. There are also thumb picks that people use. And it's really just a matter of personal preference and the sound that you're trying to get from your dulcimer. I love fingernail picking. I just love that sound, and it goes back to what I was saying earlier about mine not having a lot of rhythm and being able to really play rhythmically, right? But I can do that, right? And I tend to do that on songs that are softer, and this is more of a prayer and a hymn, so it's more, you play it slower anyway, rather than a driving beat with strumming. Makes sense so far? Okay. The other thing that I wanted to mention was grace notes. So you could say, so the note is this. That's the note. It's a chord, but it's, and then the next, that is the melody of the song. All of these extra things that I'm putting in are called grace notes. So if I pluck the 5 and then the 3 and the 3 and all these little extra twilly things, so these things are called grace notes. And they're never written in the music. It's just what you decide to add to the music to make it your own. Does that make sense? And the reality is everybody adds them somewhere, and it's just a matter of figuring out where you want them to be. Okay. I feel like I'm forgetting something I wanted to talk about, so I'm just going to go quickly and look at the agenda over here. Oh, yes. I forgot that. Okay. So the last thing, I'll just go back to something I forgot about strumming. So you've probably heard the phrase bum diddy strum, and that's out in. That's a bum diddy. It goes with the words. So bum diddy, bum diddy, bum diddy. Okay, and you can use any words, any phrase you want to come up with that strumming rhythm. Ice cream soda pop, would be bum bum diddy bum. Okay, so just bear that in mind, that when you're strumming that rhythm, it's very similar to how you speak. When normal humans speak, they don't speak like this on the beat all the time, right? It has a flow and a rhythm. And that's where music and language have really come together in very interesting ways in your brain. So use phrases when you want to think about rhythms. Say, oh, bum diddy. Okay, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me personally, but kitty cat, puppy dog, know, that's diddy bum, diddy bum. Does that make sense? That you can then use those words and those phrases to build up those rhythms. The other thing that you can do is, again, get your foot or something, like a metronome or whatever, moving to the beat. So I'm hitting my foot against the leg of the chair on the beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to clap out a rhythm. And once I got the rhythm clapped in my head, I'm going to try and strum it, right? All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's really bum, diddy, bum, bum. And my foot is still going. If you can't see it, but my foot is still hitting the leg of the chair. So I'm keeping that beat going. And now I'm going to try and play it. Okay, and again, I'm using my whole forearm, pivoting at my elbow, which you can't see, to make that strumming pattern. So it's important to practice this because you have to play with rhythmically for most of the music that we play on the dulcimer. Yeah, there's a lot of music out there that doesn't follow the beat and isn't rhythmic, but for most of the music that we play on the dulcimer, it absolutely has to be played in time. And if you want to play with other people, it's really important to practice this. And essentially what you're training your brain is that your hands, both of your hands, are doing two different things. Your hand is moving on the beat. This fretting hand has to move on the beat, and your strumming hand has to keep the rhythm going. You see what I'm saying? And so by practicing these techniques, that's what you're practicing and getting into your brain. All right, I've been talking for a while. Do you guys have questions? Do you have thoughts? Do we want to play Abide With Me and move on to our final closing songs? It's now 6 o'clock to give you a time measure. Tell me what you're doing. Questions? No questions? Shall we move on? Yes or no?
Sure.
Okay. Do you want to play Abide With Me?
Yes.
Okay. It's a really pretty hymn. I'll count to 4 and then we'll come in. I'll play it straight, as I should say, I'll play it as straight as I can. Because I'm constantly adding. I'm just moving my camera. Hope that doesn't make anybody dizzy. Sometimes it makes me dizzy. Yeah. All right, we'll play it through 3 times. 3 times. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to the beginning. One last time. How did that feel? Like, okay? So-so?
Pretty good.
Good. All right. It's it's a reasonably new song. So, we haven't had it for long. But yeah. Okay. Moving on. All right, Rosin the Beau. This is the one that we had a bunch of hammer on and pulls off last time. And you don't have to do them. They're just suggestions, but if you want to try some, that's great. This is in 6/8 timing, which means there's 6 beats to a measure and the 8th note takes 1 beat. And it has a pickup measure, so that the very first note is an 8th note that's in the pickup measure. So I'm going to count to 5 and then we'll come in on, which will be 6, the 6th beat. And again, remember, I'm keeping the beat with my foot because it's the only part of my body that I can use, that I can feel is moving to that beat. All right, I'm gonna go slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Heading back to the beginning. So a common place to really mess up the timing of the notes is at the end of the song. right? You retard, they call it retarding, and you do it on purpose to sort of signal this is the end of the song, right? So the last line, if I was to do that, it would be, you know, really stretch out the last measure or the last couple of measures. So again, when I was talking about practicing with the metronome, yeah, it's great to practice the metronome when you're learning how to play a song, but in performance, you're never playing precisely the note timings that is written on the page. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. Do we want to play Psalm 23? Yeah, okay. Again, lots of hammers and pulls. You don't have to do any of them. You can just play the melody, and that's fine with me. But I encourage you to try and stretch at some point and get those. All right, this is waltz time, 3/4 time, so I'll count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then we come in. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Back to the beginning. Sorry. Messing up bad. Try for the harmonic. Oh, I didn't get it. I can't get it. So typically with a song, when they have like a harmonic at the end like that, it's the last time. You only play it the last time, not each time through. Is that questions? Do you have trouble in the song anywhere that you want me to try and explain?
Just the hardest part for me is on the third line, the last two measures, and then the first measure of the fourth line.
Yes, that is the hardest part of this song for anyone. It's
I think I
no,
just need to practice it more.
yeah. So I'm sliding up from the 4, and I'm using my middle finger on the middle string for the 7, and then my ring finger on the melody string for the 7. And that leaves my index finger available to get the 9. And then pull that off, slide it down. And then that index finger still remains available to get the, okay, does that make sense? And it's typically a good idea to try a fingering that leaves fingers open, so that you can get notes lower and notes higher. And I will also say, I don't know if you attend the Quarantune online sessions, but one of their criteria for whether the session is intermediate or beginners or whatever is if it's above the 7th fret, it's no longer a beginner song. It's an intermediate song, because almost no beginners like to go above the 7th fret. So realize that too is going on, right? Because now you got to memorize a whole lot of other numbers up here that you're not used to playing. Okay, other questions about this song or anything? We're moving on to 6:15, so is there a particular song you really want to get to? Let's get to that one.
Not for me. I don't know about the others, the other 3.
No? Okay. How about we play Aran Boat's song? And I'm just going to mention that Aran Boat's song is a good one to practice with the metronome. So I'm going to turn the metronome on, and we'll play it with the metronome. The reason why this song is such a great song to play with the metronome is because almost every measure has the same timing of notes. And almost every measure, the chord is the first note of the measure. So if you wanted to play this off, if you wanted to just practice chording, you can turn your metronome on. I'm going to put that down. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to just play the chords. 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I'm doing multiple things there. I'm moving my hand to the right, in the right beat, and I'm playing the rhythm, and that's reinforcing this whole concept of moving your hand, your fretting hand, on the beat that it needs to move on, and also keeping your strumming hand going. If you noticed, I was even though I wasn't, let me see if I can tilt the camera, not that way, to show my strumming. So even though I'm not strumming any of the other notes in the measure, I'm still moving my hand as if I'm strumming. Does that make sense? 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So that's the other thing that you can really practice, this, getting this hand moving and with a consistent structure. Does that make sense? You can also just strum the chords if you wanted to practice. Like if you were going to sing this song, you can. You see what I'm saying? Usually, so that's just, you know, for what it's worth. If people are singing with their dulcimer, they're only playing the chords. They're not playing all those extra melody notes in there. But let's play the song as it is written, as melody with our dulcimers, because it's pretty. And I won't have the silly metronome on because it drives me nuts. All right, I'm gonna count to 3 and then we'll come in. 1, 2, 3. Oops, sorry. Let me start that over again. My head is in the clouds right now. 1, 2, 3. How's that? Okay. So, yeah, again, it's one of those songs where if you wanted, this is a good song to practice with the metronome because you can set it to 3/4 time and you can just start really slowly and just practice those chords. You know, if you're having trouble with getting those chords, that's a great thing to do. All right. Let's skip Slumber, My Darling and Irish Eyes and go straight to our favorite simple gifts. Unless there's one in there that you guys want to play. No? Okay. Let's play simple gifts and we'll go out with a bang, all right? I'll count to 3 and then we'll come in on 4. 1, 2, 3. Lynna, where are you? What are you doing? 1, 2. Let's begin from the beginning. 1, 2, 3. beginning. How's that? Okay. All right. Let me. Come on. Somewhere in here is a. Yay. Yay. So, yeah, go ahead and unmute for now, and I'll try not to strum my dulcimer. Yeah, I mean, I'm really trying to set these up for what will help you guys the most. So whatever feedback you want, want to send me, that's really helpful. If there's songs you want to learn, send them my way, and then so that we can start learning those. How does that sound?
That sounds great.
Great. Okay. And I'm sorry, you're the other person on the call. It just says Samsung, so I don't know your name. Oh, you have to unmute. I'm still not hearing you. Yeah. Weird.
You try pressing the space bar, that does it too.
Yeah, but I think you're on a phone or an iPad or some sort. Yeah, no, it's not picking up. I'm not hearing anything.
Sorry. Cindy
And
Davidson.
Cindy, hi.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
I'm
Yeah.
really new to this. I just listened today. I learned some things. I appreciate it.
Oh, good. Okay. So you have my email. So, please send, whatever suggestions you have, like the types of things you want to learn, songs you want to learn. And I'm happy to take this in any direction that you want. One of the things I love to say about the dulcimer is it has only 3 strings, right? So it's easy to begin to play this instrument. What's hard is mastering it. And the reason it has only 3 strings makes it easy, but it has only 3 strings makes it hard. Right? It's the same reason, and I love that duality on this instrument. I think Kathy is. Are you also on the call? Ah, okay. And Poppy is here. All right. I'm just not seeing you because you're not. Your video's not on. Great. Well, thank you all for joining me again. And as I say, these sessions are really for you guys. So please let me know what would be helpful to you, and where I can take this.
This was really great. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you for your help.
No worries. Kathy?
Yep, thank you.
Okay, great. All right. Thank you guys.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye.